Howdy and welcome to this video where we're going to be speaking about how to improve your insulin sensitivity. And why this is such an important topic is for 7 out of 10 women with PCOS, they will be insulin resistant PCOS. So that means that to take control of your PCOS, your main focus needs to be improving your insulin sensitivity, which is just the opposite of insulin resistance. So before we get started, yes, there are different types of PCOS. A lot of women I speak to simply don't know that. They think there's just one diagnosis of PCOS, and that's correct. Your doctor most likely is not going to diagnose you with insulin resistant PCOS or inflammatory PCOS or the other types. Your doctor is most likely just going to diagnose you with PCOS. So then it's up to you to investigate what is the type of PCOS you specifically have, and once you understand that, then you can create yourself solutions to take control of it. Because when I'm talking about different types of PCOS, I'm just referring to a different underlying issue that is driving your PCOS. So as I mentioned, 7 out of 10 women with PCOS, the underlying issue will be insulin resistant. That's what I'm talking about with insulin resistant PCOS. But for other women, they might have inflammatory PCOS, which means it's inflammation, chronic low-level inflammation driving their PCOS symptoms. For other women, it might be more stress related, so adrenal PCOS. And then another type of PCOS is post-pill PCOS. So coming off birth control can put you in a temporary PCOS-like state, driving PCOS symptoms. But with this video, I'm going to be speaking specifically about insulin-resistant PCOS. And if you have insulin-resistant PCOS, therefore, your main focus to take control of your PCOS symptoms will be to improve your insulin sensitivity. So with this video, I want to talk about how insulin resistant is driving your PCOS symptoms, and then how to improve your insulin sensitivity to take control of your PCOS symptoms. So here, let me quickly explain to you what insulin resistant is, because a lot of women I speak to simply just don't know, because you've never researched it. You don't know it was insulin resistance driving your PCOS because you were told you just had PCOS. You weren't explained things. So let's talk about insulin resistance. So let's have a look at this and pretend this is your bloodstream. And within your bloodstream, when you eat food, and specifically carbohydrates, your body breaks that down into glucose, represented here with these blue G's. So you eat carbohydrates from your food, your body breaks them down, they turn into glucose within your blood, and then normally what would happen is the cells of your body, which are here, would eat them up for energy. But to do that, your body must release insulin, which is a hormone, a storage hormone. Insulin comes and attaches itself to these glucose molecules and then shuttles it into these cells. So think of insulin as the key or the chaperone into the cells. Without insulin, glucose cannot get into the cells. And that is very, very unhealthy for your body. So insulin is, in normal doses, is a very, very positive hormone. It's great for you. But what happens in insulin resistance is these cells of your body become resistant to insulin, or they stop allowing insulin to work. So therefore what happens is you now get a buildup of glucose in your bloodstream and insulin in your bloodstream. And it's that high insulin levels that then drive your PCOS symptoms. So just high insulin levels by itself is what drives PCOS symptoms such as weight gain. Because this glucose and this insulin has nowhere to go, it shuttles it into fat cells. Then fat cells get bigger or even duplicate and you put on weight. That's why many women with insulin resistant PCOS seem to gain weight easily, even though they're eating normally. You could still be eating a normal diet, but because your body can't utilize the energy from your diet, it's dumping it all in your fat cells and you're gaining weight, even though you're eating the exact same thing as your sister or your best friend, and she's not gaining weight, but you are. It's incredibly frustrating. Poor energy levels, because once again, these cells of your body that need those nutrients, that needs that energy to function properly, isn't getting it anymore. So although you're gaining weight, the cells of your body are actually in a state of starvation. So they send signals to your brain to reduce energy levels because we have no energy down here, and to increase hunger and craving. So another symptom of insulin resistance that many women experience is increased hunger and cravings for sugary foods, because your body is screaming out for energy even though it's already in there, they just can't access it. And also sleep issues. So insulin resistance is a leading cause for insomnia and sleep apnea. A lot of women with PCOS suffer from sleep issues. Now, in terms of other PCOS symptoms and how high insulin levels, insulin resistance triggers it, is high insulin levels, right, causes your ovaries to overproduce testosterone. You may have heard me talking about excess androgens, too high testosterone, excess testosterone. Well, the leading way that women with PCOS will have too much testosterone in their system is too much insulin leads the ovaries to overproduce testosterone. And symptoms of high testosterone in PCOS will be hair loss on the scalp, hair growth on the face, the chest, the belly, the arms, irregular periods, and fertility issues. So as you can see here, these symptoms: hair loss, hair growth, irregular periods, fertility issues, weight gain, poor energy, sleep issues, cravings. Well, they're all the symptoms of PCOS. So hopefully you can see now these symptoms you've been experiencing. Now you understand what's actually driving these symptoms. You have a right to understand how your body works. And I love making these videos because I know most of you haven't been sat down and told exactly how your PCOS is working and how it's driving your symptoms you're experiencing. So, quick little tidbit here. Many of you have been prescribed Metformin. Once again, not being told why you are taking Metformin. So Metformin is known as an insulin sensitizing drug. So the goal of Metformin is to improve your insulin sensitivity. It does work for some, it doesn't work for others, and many women with PCOS can't handle the side effects that come with it, unfortunately. But this is what I want to make this video for, to tell you what you can do naturally to improve your insulin sensitivity if Metformin doesn't agree with you, or if it does, to do alongside your Metformin medication. And number two here is weight loss is not always the answer. So especially those women who are overweight with PCOS, pretty much all you've ever been told is to lose weight. And that's because weight loss should result in some insulin sensitizing effects. So we know excess weight makes you more insulin resistant. And science and studies have also proven that as you lose weight, you become more insulin sensitive. But it doesn't always work perfectly. I know many women with PCOS who were told to lose weight that will cure their PCOS, who lost a great deal of weight, but they still experience their PCOS symptoms. And that's because, once again, your goal is to focus primarily on improving your insulin sensitivity. It's not to just lose weight. Losing weight may or may not improve your insulin sensitivity. So can you see how if it's insulin resistance driving your PCOS, and you were told to just lose weight and you lost weight, but that didn't improve your insulin resistance, that means that you've lost all this weight, which is good, which is healthy, but it isn't actually going to help your PCOS. Some women it does, which is marvelous, but for other women it does not. So here, what can we do naturally to improve your insulin sensitivity? Because there is many studies, lots of research on how to do this naturally, which is wonderful for you if you do want to take control of your PCOS symptoms. And this is what I call the 5 C's PCOS lifestyle, how to take control of your PCOS naturally. Big one here is diet, because as I mentioned, insulin is released as a result of blood sugar through your diet. So if your diet is largely controlling how much insulin you release, that means your diet is a wonderful tool you have to regulate your insulin release via blood sugar levels. So here, number one, biggest thing you can do, cut out sugar, because sugar is the fastest way to increase how much glucose is in your bloodstream. More glucose means more insulin, means worsening insulin resistance. So cut out all sugar. Go low carb. Aim for around 20 to 30% of your overall diet to come from carbohydrate sources. That's enough carbohydrates where you don't feel restricted. You won't get tired. It will still fuel your body, but it's low enough where it will improve your insulin sensitivity. Make sure those carbs are low GI carbs. If you just want to Google low GI, it's just the glycemic index. It's simply saying how quickly or how long it will take your body to break down and digest those carbs, turn them into glucose. So low GI carbs take your body longer to break down, which means a lower blood sugar spike, which means less insulin released. Number 4, eat soluble fiber. It fills you up. It's satiating, which means you're not going to eat as much. You're going to feel fuller for longer, which is really good because we know insulin resistance drives up hunger and cravings. Number 5, make sure you're using turmeric and cinnamon. If you're having shakes, put some cinnamon in there. Cinnamon's been shown to improve insulin sensitivity. You can add turmeric to your shake, only a little bit because it's really strong, or to your meals. Turmeric anti-inflammatory, also been shown to help balance out blood sugar levels. And last one here, drink green tea. Green tea, once again, has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity. The second one here is sleep, and sleep's tough because, as I mentioned before, insulin resistance drives sleep issues. But now I'm telling you to sleep, but that's because we know that poor sleep worsens insulin resistance. So you really got to do everything you can to make sure you're getting quality sleep, whether that means creating yourself a nighttime routine, getting off technology as early as possible at the night, turning off all your lights in the house at night, turning down the brightness of your TV, making sure you're in bed or relaxing an hour minimum before you want to fall asleep. You got to put your body in that state where it knows sleep is coming. Number 3 here is reducing stress. So when you feel stressed, your body will release a hormone called cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone. One of the actions of cortisol is it pulls energy from the cells into your bloodstream. So that means cortisol will raise blood sugar levels. Therefore, it's going to raise insulin levels. So if you're chronically stressed, you're going to have chronically elevated insulin levels. So you have to manage your stress levels. The best thing here is cut out the source. What is the source of your stress? Is it emotional? Is it finances? Is it physical? Are you exercising too much? Are you eating not enough? Remember, there's physical stresses and emotional stresses, but stress is a reaction. There is something stressing you. So do the best you can to get to the source of your stress and find a solution to it. Because stress is a reaction. You must find a solution to your stress and practice a daily stress release. So whether it's yoga, going for a nice slow walk, stretching, just spending 10 minutes by yourself, spending time with loved ones, you have to reduce your stress levels. Number 4 here is exercise. Exercise is one of those keystone habits that has been proven to improve insulin sensitivity. So you must be regularly exercising, whether it's doing resistance exercise, so weights, whether it's doing high intensity interval training, so small 15-minute bouts of HIIT, or whether it's cardio, so you're going for a light jog or a run. You need to be doing regular exercise 3 to 6 times per week. And the last one here is supplements. So supplements really help the rest of this lifestyle. So inositol is probably the best and most proven supplement for improving insulin sensitivity. And acetylcysteine I'm in love with. It gets amazing results for my clients. Berberine, magnesium, and omega-3. So as you've learned in this video, for 7 out of 10 women with PCOS, what's driving their symptoms is insulin resistance. It drives weight gain, poor energy, sleep issues. It also drives high testosterone, which then creates symptoms of excess testosterone. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions at all about improving your insulin sensitivity, ask me below or send me a message if you want to keep it private. And as always, I will see you on our next video.